Councilman Nichols asked me if we were gonna delay the meeting tonight because the river has come down upon us, but I said, no, we were gonna forge forward. And,
But I'm fine.
Not delay, just wait a few minutes for people to arrive.
exactly, we'll not delay, absolutely. But anyway, so I think everyone who came tonight gets a gold star for attendance, for the backstroke that you had to do to get into the parking lot. So tonight is Tuesday, June 9th. It is the appointed hour, 6 p.m. And the first two things on the agenda are the prayer and the pledge. I would ask Chaplain Chappie McKay to come lead us in prayer, and then Ken, if you would lead us in the pledge.
Lord, we ask you to bless and protect all the residents of Mount Pleasant as they travel home tonight in this rain. Please protect their homes and their families. Lord, we bless this council for the time and talent they spend here to guide our great creation here. And we ask that you bless their families as they give up their time to be here. Lord, we also ask your blessing over the staff, the police, and the fire departments here in Mount Pleasant who are out there every day protecting our safety and making this a greater community. Lord, we bless all the summer camps that town is having right now, and bless all those that attend, and safe travel to our residents as they move around. And let our thoughts be your thoughts and our actions be your actions. All this we say in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Face the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Pagliarini, are we in compliance with the Freedom of Information Act?
Yes, Mayor, we're in compliance.
Thank you. I need approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add an item to it tonight, and that would be goal number 3 of the Mount Pleasant Growth Management Framework, specifically the one that says enhance the quality of life through acquisition of open space and the expansion of recreation lands for tonight, if we can put that on the agenda.
Thank you very much. For clarification, Mr. Pagliarini, could you tell me where that would go on the agenda?
Well, we can put it under any location, but you can put it under, you can just go under planning new business as the next item in order, if you wish.
Is that your wish, Mr. Santos?
Yes, ma'am, that'd be fine.
Yes, comment, Mr.
Madam Mayor, is this a discussion item, or is, what's the purpose of it? I don't understand, so somebody clarify.
I'll ask Mr. Santos to.
I'd be happy to if we can get a second for a discussion.
I'll second it for a second.
There you go.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was to talk about it and possibly have it as an action item. The item we're talking about is the use of taxation for recreation facilities and the expansion of recreation lands. My thought was, and the idea would be to have this on the referendum in November instead of us just voting to tax the residents because they've been taxed enough, I think, is to put that on the referendum and allow the citizens to tell us that they would like for us to, have raise some taxes with the sunset clause in order to go directly toward recreational issues, and whether it's recreational land, senior center, or things like that, but recreational issues which we will come up with. So I'm just asking that we could take that out and put that into a form of a referendum and let the citizens tell us what they would like for us to do, how they would like for us to raise the funds.
So we don't want to discuss it in committee level at all? I mean, we're just gonna go straight to referendum?
Well, we have 90 days, and today is the last day of the 90 days. So we have an opportunity for a month to talk about this, discuss this as much as you want, but the key is to go ahead and get the first reading on it, to go to referendum on it, and then if they decide not to do it, fine, but if we miss today, then we miss the 90 days.
Yes, sir. Mr. Nichols?
Yeah, Gary, or maybe David, can you explain the 90 days to me? We're at, just after the first week of June. Is it a ballot printing situation? Is it, what's the 90 days?
Right, by state statute required within 90 days, by 90 days to provide any referendum questions to the county for election purposes. So our date is August 7th, I think, is the date that we'd have to provide something to the county election commission.
Did that answer your question, Mr. Nichols?
Yeah, except the math isn't working out for me. August 7th is 60 days from now.
Right.
Right.
I'm
so-
sorry, July, yeah. Right, for the November election, August, September, right, whatever 90 days is from there, so that would be August.
90 days from the
Right.
election date preceding that.
That's right.
And so in order to get something on there, just to get the, is it sort of a get the ball rolling type, Gary? Or what?
Well-
I'm with Mr. Carrier.
I'm trying to beat that deadline for the 90 days. And you know, it's my opinion that, you know, as you know, those of you who know, been serving for a long time, important issues like this, I like to put out for referendum because I'd like for the citizens to give us the opportunity to tell us what they want us to do. Instead of us just saying, we're gonna raise funds to develop these fields, I'd like for them to say, hey, you know, we would like that too, and be a part of it. You know, we've talked to them informally, at those meetings that we've had, they all seem to be wanting to move in that direction. But I'd like to put it out there and let the citizens tell us what to do. And since we have an election coming up, I think it's a perfect timing to be able to do that. And that's my whole intent, my whole purpose of it.
Yes, sir, Mr. Garch?
So to the real sake of clarity then is aside from just wanting to talk about it, we have to have finalized language with everything that we want the public to vote on by the August date that would be 90 days to the November election. The language has to be final then, correct?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so Mr. Santos, what you're asking now that it's June 9th, from June 9th until August, we can work on crafting exactly how that referendum will read.
Exactly.
That's what you're seeking.
Exactly.
I'm fine with that.
And then, and I guess to follow that up, I would assume that our recreation committee, whether it requires a special meeting or perhaps there is time to work on language, if that's something the recreation committee would take the lead on.
Exactly. I'm okay with it.
I'm not okay with it as far as representing my committee. I mean, I think we need, we're kind of blindsided here, and I think we need a little bit more direction from staff, direction from council, quite frankly, as to where we go with this. I mean, you know, we're going to talk about all this in the growth management plan. That's part of it. And I thought we were doing this in a very systematic, orderly fashion, and this is not systematic nor orderly.
Yes, sir, Mr. Santos?
Well, I mean, you know, you've had plenty of opportunity to look at this, just like I have, and I'm not on the committee, and I've been looking at it, researching it, and to me, this is very important, and giving the citizens an opportunity to discuss it. I mean, certainly you guys could have, had y'all been meeting a lot, you could have discussed this, but you haven't had a lot of meetings, and so we're now down to the wire, and it's time for us to either do this or don't do it. So certainly a referendum is an option. If we miss this tonight, then we miss this option, and I just think that we ought to move forward with it. It's a win-win situation for everybody. I can't see a downside to this, and everybody I've spoken to has not had any downside. You're the only one that has said anything yet, you know, that's been kind of negative. So, I mean, I just want to move forward with it. I think we ought to give the citizens an opportunity to tell us what they want us to do with that. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Glasson?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get clarity. I mean, I don't see a downside towards having an open discussion over the next, Mr. Guard said, through August. But by August, we would have to have something submitted and voted on to be submitted for a referendum for November, correct? Mr. Paccarini?
Yes, sir.
And I think for clarification, you know, the reality is there is a discussion of increased taxation for additional recreation as part of the growth management framework. It's not automatic. It doesn't mean that if this body doesn't take it to a referendum for the citizens to vote for increased taxation for recreational opportunities, that we're going to vote to have an increased tax for recreation. So it is kind of a separate issue, just for clarification.
I'm not clear on that one.
Well, just saying, I mean, we haven't said that if we don't put it on a referendum that we're automatically gonna raise taxes. I think, per an earlier conversation, I think Gary was concerned that that meant that it was gonna be up for us to vote one way or another, whether we're gonna tax for more recreation. And he certainly thought that the citizens, and which I agree, a referendum's not a bad idea. I'm not quite sure what we would put on the referendum at this point, but, I think citizens certainly need to have a say what they like in
I
the
got you.
community.
Well, just because I want to say that, because we're having discussions on Mr. Carrier's committee that I sit on with Mr. Stokes Marshall on increasing recreation fees. Now, I'm not trying to hide the fact that fees and taxes are the same thing, but the fees are something we're looking at for particular activities that we do that we are as a body to make those decisions. Mr. Santos, in my opinion, is making his suggestion that he's tying it into our framework we had our press conference on, that although the word didn't say potential tax increase, he just put it there as a general term. And for me, I like that because it allows us to be able to discuss that general term. But it is very separate in that if we wanted to agree to move forward to have a referendum for the public to decide, that's when we would then pinpoint Waterfront Park, Shem Creek Park, Pitt Street Bridge, the property up at Hamlin, those types of things, because we all hear from our citizens who want this, this, and this, and we all say, yeah, we all do, but how are we gonna pay for it? So it gets to that situation, that's when you say, because I'm not typically a referendum guy, y'all know me, but on this particular situation, if people want to decide for that, and we get more laser focused on a certain project, that's not going to hinder, in my opinion, how we're continuing to move forward with discussing the impact, the rates, the fees for recreation that we discussed in the last committee, that we're gonna come back to the committee to discuss the rate. Those are separate. That's recreation user fees. Mr. Santos is talking about a townwide referendum for everybody to weigh in.
Thank you very much, but now that the motion that we're discussing at this point is just a motion, so let's get back to the original, we do have a motion. We have a motion to amend the agenda, and then we have a second motion. We have a motion for approval of the agenda, and then we have a motion to amend the agenda with a second.
Right.
So which one do we want to vote on the first?
Amendment is
Okay, so we'll vote on the amendment, and the amendment is to discuss recreation, and we would put that under new business. The last item under new business?
right, you can put it under council new business, I suppose, or I'm not sure whether you're discussing it as a planning issue, but it seems more like a council new business item to me.
Is that fine with you?
It's new.
Okay, so that would be under council new business, not planning. So just so I make sure I get it right on the agenda. And we had no old business, so this is where we're gonna put the discussion. Okay, so that's the vote on the amendment. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
One nay. And now the motion on approval of the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And the ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Everybody get that?
That's not even the discussion.
That wasn't discussion yet. We have a public hearing, a couple of public hearings, actually, we have two. So I'll turn it over to our planning director, Ms. Farrell.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. We do have two public hearings this evening, both for Carolina Park. The first one is to receive input on a request to amend the Town of Mount Pleasant Comprehensive Plan 2009 through 2019, the future land use map, by changing the land use designation on parcel CPC 6 from CPC Carolina Park Commercial to Carolina Park Commercial Residential, and by changing the land use designation of a 3.6 acre portion of parcel CPCR1 from CPCR to CPCR Passive Park parcel CP6 in approximately 3.6. I will explain this much better when we get to this item on the agenda, but this is the way the ad was written for the public hearing, very detailed and specific. But this is a request to amend the comprehensive plan for Carolina Park.
Thank you very much, and I don't have anyone signed up to speak on this issue. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak on this issue? Thank you. That public hearing is closed. And your second public hearing?
This is also pertains to Carolina Park, part of the same request, but this one is to receive input on the request for the proposed fourth amendment to the development agreement by and between CDM of Charleston LLC and the Town of Mount Pleasant. This would be rezoning a 3.6 acre portion of parcel CPCR1 from Carolina Park Commercial Residential to a passive park, rezoning parcel CPC6 from Carolina Park Commercial to Carolina Park Commercial Residential, and then finally adding up to 150 attached single-family dwellings as an additional permitted use on parcel CPCR1. Total number of dwelling units allowed in Carolina Park would not change.
Thank you very much. Again, I have no one signed up to speak on this issue. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak? Thank you. This public hearing is also closed.
Mayor and council, please join me up front.
We'll be back.
Sorry.
Did you get any of this?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Nice wet night, but this is also a Wando night, so it can't be all bad, can it? Last month, Christian Cease honored Mount Pleasant and all of us golfers and golfer wannabes in town by winning the 65th annual Charleston City Amateur Golf Tournament. Christian bested the 196-man field with a score of -8 for the 54 holes. He never trailed, winning wire to wire. Christian is the son of Tim and Tina Cease, who are with us tonight, who are longtime residents of Hobcaw Creek Plantation. Twin brother Chandler could not be with us tonight. Christian is a 2012 Wando High grad. He is presently a rising senior at Winthrop University studying finance. In addition to preparing for his next tournament, our own Rice Planters Invitational, which is right around July 4th, Christian plans to revisit the Lamb Institute in Honduras for several weeks this summer as part of his mission commitment as a member of Mount Pleasant Presbyterian Church. Please help me congratulate Christian Cease on his accomplishments both on the course and off.
That might put him on the spot out there.
Yeah. I just want to first off thank God for the opportunities that He's given me and for blessing me with the talent and ability to play this game. And I want to thank my parents and my friends who supported me during the tournament, and all my coaches that have helped me along the way. Ricky Sullivan, who's been a phenomenal help for me, and my coach at Winthrop, Kevin Penley, and it's just a blessing to have such good players and coaches around me that's really elevated my game, and I just thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Well, Elton, we got another honor for Wando Warriors. How about them Warriors? I tell you what. I saw Bob Hayes last Monday at the fundraiser golf tournament. I said, Coach, I don't know what kind of budget you have for the trophy case, but it's just not a big enough budget. Wow. Now, folks, we got part of our baseball team here. I don't know how many of them are here. We're going to bring them up in a minute. But, you know, baseball, if you've all played it, it has that wonderful mechanism to separate you by the time you're 13 and 14. It's called a curveball. So you either keep moving on or you don't. It's easier to hit a curveball than what we were discussing earlier. I just want to let you know that. All right. That being said, it's my honor to read this off about the 2015 4A state champion in the state of South Carolina. 2015 Wando baseball finished their season with a 25-8 record. Battling through some disappointing losses, minor and season-ending injuries, Wando finished second in Region 7 4A. They got into the playoffs. They drew White Knoll out of Lexington. They defeated White Knoll to earn the 4A District 5 title, which sent them to the lower state. And they played Carolina Forest. They defeated Carolina Forest. I had a chance to go see them beat Carolina Forest at home. Then Wando won the first 2 games out of 3 against J.L. Mann to win the first baseball state 4A title in school history. So let's hear it one time for the Wando baseball. Come on up, guys. Come on up for this last sentence. Coach, I want you to read this last line about these guys, and you can tell us all. I know you don't have everybody here tonight. You tell everybody about the seniors you have, but starting right there, just the last 2 sentences. Thank you.
Yeah, the thing we're most proud of, Wando was led by 12 seniors. All 12 of them have been accepted to go to college to further their lifelong goals. 9 of the 12 will continue their baseball career in college. But to have 12 out of 12 be accepted into college, that's something we're proud of, and probably more proud of that than we are the state title.
One more time, everybody, 2015 4A State Champion. Say hello to the mayor.
Congratulations. Thank you. Good job, guys. Congratulations. Good job. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
I like that 1,000 batting average.
Yeah, we are.
We had another successful blessing of the fleet this year. Nicole Harvey, will you come up on stage for us? And y'all know Nicole. And
Monitoring event situation with my phone.
And how we doing with Party in the Park?
Keep blowing. We've been blowing. We've been out there blowing the wind. It's not working so far, but the weatherman says it's going away. So I am soaked from head to toe. But anyway, thank you very much. And thank you all for all of your support of the blessing of the fleet for so many years. 28 years ago, and actually, if I could get Jennifer Magwood Ray and Ann Magwood to come up here with me while I talk about this, because they are very important parts of this festival. 28 years ago, the Magwood family brought together a group of Shrimp Creek shrimping families in the town of Mount Pleasant to start the Blessing of the Fleet and Seafood Festival as a way to thank the community for its support, as well as to raise funds to be given to a local nonprofit to offer their support back to the community they love to serve. Ann Magwood and the other wives could be found cooking shrimp all day, and as any event planner's kids, including mine, will tell you, putting their children to work to support the cause. Thank you, Jennifer and Tressie, who couldn't be here today, unfortunately. Fast forward almost 3 decades, and the Blessing of the Fleet and Seafood Festival has become a favorite tradition, winning many awards and, most importantly, continually striving to educate both locals and visitors about the importance of supporting our local fishermen who depend on all of us to demand local shrimp and seafood on our plates. As many of you know, the season is now in full swing, and I hope that you've already been stocking your refrigerators with the catch coming into Shrimp Creek. You don't have to look very hard to figure out where to buy. If you Facebook, we regularly post it on the Blessing of the Fleet page where you buy directly from our fishermen, as well as what restaurants are serving up local shrimp. We ask you help us by posting to our page or Twitter when you find local seafood out at restaurants and include #GetWild and/or #JustAsk. As this festival has grown, so has its demand to involve our local community as volunteers on event day. We truly could not put this festival on without their support. So while we choose each year a local nonprofit to benefit from the net proceeds of the event, we also ask a lot of them in return. This year's beneficiary, East Cooper Habitat for Humanity, did a truly remarkable job in filling almost 70 volunteer shifts in record time. They were great to work with, and we are incredibly grateful for their volunteers' hard work. East Cooper Habitat for Humanity offers families the opportunity to have a decent, safe, and affordable place to live by building safe, well-constructed homes using volunteer labor and donated funds to provide a hand up, not a handout, to its partner families. They select homeowners based upon their need, their demonstrated ability to handle personal finances, and their willingness to contribute a minimum of 350 sweat equity hours during the construction of their home. Once completed, Habitat homes are purchased by the homeowner using a no-interest mortgage. Monthly mortgage payments are then directed toward future home building efforts as they are received. East Cooper Habitat for Humanity brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. It currently has title to 1.3 acres in northern Mount Pleasant, where a new 7-home community development is being built. To date, East Cooper Habitat has built 67 homes in Mount Pleasant since 1990. East Cooper Habitat for Humanity serves the communities east of the Cooper River in South Carolina as an affiliate of Habitat for Humanity International. Here to accept our donation of $8,033 on behalf of East Cooper Habitat for Humanity is Development Director Trish Elsey, if you could come up, and Executive Director Bob Hervey. And I believe you've got some other board members. If you all would like to come up, you're more than welcome. Thank you for all that you do for our community.
Oh, look, he's double time. Double time. Still about the rules.
Where am I supposed to be? Okay, all right. Get rid of the paper clip.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
I'd really like to thank Nicole Harvey for all of her hard work that she puts in for this festival, and we couldn't do it without her. She's great. Thank you.
I think I have this next presentation. I'd like to ask you guys to come up, the Shrimp Creek Fisheries, some of our local shrimpers. Come on up, join us. Y'all been shrimping today? Did y'all go shrimping today? Wayne went shrimping today? Wayne called me earlier. He said, what time are we gonna get up there? I'm tired. How many shrimp did you catch? Oh, okay. You caught some though, right? I had someone call from out of town and say, where do we get some local shrimp? And I said, well, I got a couple numbers in my phone. We'll call whoever answers. And Wayne answered first. And they needed 50 pounds. So I think that was 250 pounds that day. With good catches, I think, for the first part of the season. The town of Mount Pleasant every year goes through a wish list of outside agencies that we want to help. And we do that, and we have done that for years. And we've always wanted to do something special for the shrimpers because it is the iconic skyline of the town of Mount Pleasant. I think it is what you vision when you think about Mount Pleasant. It's on the postcards. It's what comes to mind when you think about who we are and where we came from. So your profession is revered, I hope you know. It's hard work, and sometimes you experience many challenges with that work. And anytime you work with the sea, you're obviously at the whim of whatever might happen with the winds. So winds of change, I believe, is how it works. So, and sometimes winds of fortune. So anyway, it was with great pleasure this last year that in the budget period we were willing to come up with a donation because there's now a 501c3. And this is a business helping a business. This is shrimpers joining together to work together on the creek for what they determine is important. Grace, I'm going to ask you to come up in a minute and say a few things. I think the challenge now has been regulation. You have been burdened by regulation. You have new life raft regulation, I understand. And so, you know, we are happy, this council, to stand here with you today and give you a donation of $10,000.
This is our director. Hi, everybody. This is the director of Shrimp Creek Fisheries, Lon Shaw. I've had some surgery in my mouth, and so I'm going to let him do this talking.
Shrimp Creek Fisheries has been established and incorporated as a 501c3 for the support of the shrimpers, but specifically on the shrimpers on Shrimp Creek. Tommy Edwards runs a boat, Captain Tommy, Captain Wayne Magwood. They work hard. It's a tough life. In the Post and Courier, there was a letter to the editor and an article in the last week about selling directly to the public, becoming retailers almost, as opposed to the wholesale market that had previously supported the industry that does not now. We try to have the money to support not only the captains and some of their needs, but to also support the crew. As most of you are aware, working on a commercial fishing boat is the most dangerous job in America. And so there are obviously injuries and things that occur that these people need a little bit of financial or social support. And so we're there to provide that. Additionally, right now we're in 2 campaigns of Save a Life and Raise a Raft, and that's to assist the shrimp boats in the purchase of these rafts that are now being required by the Coast Guard. They're bigger, they're a lot more expensive, and you can't operate a commercial vessel without them now. And this is a new one. So we're trying to raise some money to assist them in the purchase and the maintenance of these rafts as well. Grace Edwards has been instrumental in not only getting the 501c3 formed. As some of you know, that's not exactly the easiest thing to do, and you have to run behind the tax commission and the IRS and get all their forms in. But she's been instrumental in doing this and in running this group. We will have a fundraiser on August the 23rd at Harborside East. And we're going to have music, we're going to have food, we're going to have libations. Please don't listen to that. But as they are a 501c3, I'll tell you, and hopefully the public in the paper or something, that donations to this group are tax deductible. Nobody gets paid, except the people that we're trying to help, the shrimp boat captains and the shrimp boat crews and the Shem Creek fishery industry. So that includes crabbers. Any donations that you can make are tax deductible and would be greatly appreciated by the fisheries. Thank you very much.
Yeah, oh yeah. Martina, want to get a picture? Come on, the whole council. This is all about all of us. Come on, you two. Come on. Board members? Come on in. We have whatever Martine says. Whatever Martine says.
This way. The center.
Yes, she's clean up
Councilman
that.
Grosch, you want to move that towards me a little bit, sir? There. Councilman Smith, I don't see you as much. If you want to move maybe this way in front. Councilman O'Neill, maybe.
No, you're good, you're good, you're good. It's fine. Okay, we're
This
with
way
you.
up here. And,
I have a vision, I have. You're fine, you're fine.
this is still.
Are you good with us?
I think we are.
Okay. She's good, you're good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, guys. You're all. Thank you.
Officer Hannah Howard, please come forward. By the way, your father down here too, I understand?
Come on, Dad.
Yeah, come forward too, sir. Mayor Page, members of town council, ladies and gentlemen, Officer Howard responded to a phone call on the evening of May the 5th on Lakeview Drive, I understand. And she arrived on scene that evening and found the man unresponsive. She checked his pulse, he had no pulse, skin color was turning blue, very serious situation. She immediately acted, performed CPR on the gentleman, and shortly thereafter, EMS arrived on the scene, took over for Officer Howard, and was bringing the gentleman through a stretcher onto the ambulance when he regained consciousness at that moment. And he has survived and is doing just fine today. And clearly, without the quick efforts of Hannah, the gentleman may not be alive today. And so because of her training, and what she did, and how well she represented this community and this department, she has been recognized as the Employee of the Month.
There you go, Dad. Congratulations. Good job, good job. Is that it?
That's it. Thank you, Hannah.
Excused. Yeah, man, you know it. You're sweet. Item number 6 on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the May 12th, 2015 Town Council meeting and the May 2015 financial statement. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the ayes have it. Item number 7, correspondence and public statements. Do we have anyone signed up to speak?
Yes, Mayor. Hugh Martin.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Town Council. My name is Hugh Moulton. I live at 306 Fifth Avenue in Scanlonville. In September of 2013, I bought the property with intention of preserving the badly damaged church and converting it into my house. I had the property surveyed and a title search was performed with no issues or easements being discovered. During the renovation process, I did discover that my neighbor's sewer line, Mr. Fordham, runs directly through my yard, as you can see here on this updated survey. I brought this to the attention of the Water Commission, and the representative that answered the phone told me that a subcontractor paid for by a federal grant connected the homes, all the homes in this area, to public water and sewer, including this one. This further asserted by Mr. Fordham that it was the city who installed these pipes. These pipes were installed incorrectly over private property with no easements of any type being created. Unfortunately, they cannot stay where they are, as it interferes or prohibits me from installing a driveway or any landscaping or anything on that side of the yard. Though it clearly seems like this is an issue between Mr. Fordham and the Water Commission has denied all responsibility for these pipes. I wanted to address you this evening to make you aware of the situation and to let you know that a member of your community will soon be without water or sewer if I'm forced to disconnect these pipes. So I'm here to ask you to please help me and help my neighbor resolve this situation by compelling the Water Commission to reposition these pipes at a proper location. They seem to me the only ones that can fix this problem, since they have the means, the expertise, and the materials to do it with limited disruption to anyone's service. Thank you very much.
Mr. Moulton,
Yes,
Mayor,
sir.
question, sir. You may have said this in the opening statement. When you bought the property, was the easement not indicated?
There is no easements, none recorded whatsoever. It sounds like after Hurricane Hugo, a subcontractor came and quickly installed all these pipes in the neighborhood. They're all matching. They're all Schedule 20 pipe, which, as you may know, is a very inferior pipe, not suitable for even irrigation. It's very thin. It's like 6 inches below the surface. So unfortunately, I can't do anything. I can't drive a machine. Can't do anything on that side of the property.
Thank you, Mr. Bolton. Mark Smith is our representative at Waterworks, and Mark, you've got this?
I do. Madam Mayor and sir, I'm chairman of Water Supply Committee, and this issue will be resolved right away.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Rodney Millette?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, council members. Under new business, you're going to be asking to rezone from PD, Workforce Housing Plan Development, Workforce Housing District, and SBOD, Sweetgrass Basket Overlay District, to R4 Medium Density Residential District. This property was zoned for workforce housing as part of the comprehensive plan. I'm asking the council to consider not approving this request and ask the developer to follow the comprehensive plan as listed, which requires a 30% workforce housing development on that property. My understanding is that they want to build 25 new homes. They say that they cannot handle workforce housing because of the cost of the land. Some of that land is wetland also. I use this as an example. A similar example is like investing in stock market. You buy stocks, you hope you can double or triple your investment. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I would find it hard to believe that the investor purchased the land not knowing what the zoning was and not having understanding of how much dry land there was to build on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Millette. All right, that's it. Moving on to item number 8 on the agenda. Ms. Farrell, you're back up, planning. And it's item number A1.
And this is Carolina Park again, and obviously you had public hearing on the comprehensive plan and the development agreement just a short time ago, and so now the ordinances, there are 3 different ordinances, so it is probably simplest as I present these all at the same time. First is an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan. Second is a request to amend the plan development, and third is a request to amend the development agreement, all for Carolina Park. And as we went through the public hearing, there's many abbreviations of CPC that can get kind of confusing, so it would probably be easiest if I explain this request as I did in the planning committee by showing on the map exactly what is being requested. So if Martine can go to the maps, the first is to orient everyone with this particular request. This is Park West Boulevard, this is Highway 17, and this is Faison Road. So the property in question is this area right here. Let me go to the next slide. This is the current master land use plan for Carolina Park, and this is the map that has been requested for amendment. And the area, again, that we are looking at is down here in this bottom corner. And we're going to zoom in just a second, but what you will see, this is all, as I went through earlier and was talking about CPC and CPCR, this is CPCR right here in this area, and the request to amend affects this area as well as what this area right here, which is shown as CPC 6, if we go to the next slide. This is the request, and the difference that you see here is this area, which is previously shown only to be commercial, so in the hot pink color, has now become added the hatch pattern, which makes it commercial or residential. And the change right here is this has become green for open space. The reason for this request is the area that is shown in green, there is an eagle's nest in this area. The developer obviously cannot develop within that particular area. So their request is to change where they could build commercial right here to have the ability to build multifamily that they had previously been able to construct where the eagle's nest is. So essentially, they're both 3.6 acres. So instead of 3.6 acres of commercial, there will be 3.6 acres of passive park in order to protect the eagle's nest. So what that would mean is this entire hatch pattern area can be developed for multifamily uses, which it currently can, but with the protection of the eagle's nest area. So that would be a maximum of 250 multifamily that could be built in that particular area. Staff's recommendation was that the passive park would remain as such even after the eagle vacates the nest, and they have agreed with that. That was part of the Planning Commission's recommendation as well. The one additional part of this request, they have, as I stated a few minutes ago, Carolina Park has always had the ability to build up to 250 multifamily in this particular area. What they have requested, however, is also the ability to build 150 townhomes instead. So they would have the option, either 250 multifamily or 150 townhomes, all in this hatch pattern, pink area with the hatch pattern, and then protecting, again, the eagle's nest. And I'll go one more just to zoom in so you can see just a little more clearly there what it would look like ultimately, and again, to orient everyone, Faison Road 17 and Park West Boulevard. This request was reviewed by the Planning Commission. They have recommended approval of the request to amend the comprehensive plan and the plan development, which are items A1 and A2. The development agreement is not considered by the Planning Commission, was considered by your Planning Committee, however, and they have recommended approval of all 3 amendments to the comprehensive plan, to the plan development, and to the development agreement.
Madam Mayor, I move for approval of items 1, 2, and 3 with staff comments.
Second.
I have a motion and several seconds to items 1, 2, and 3. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? opposed? And the ayes have it.
First reading, ordinance number 15044, an ordinance to amend the Town of Mount Pleasant Comprehensive Plan 2009 through 2019, 2014 update, future land use map by changing the land use designations for parcels CPC 6 and a portion of CPC R1, and the Carolina Park development from CPC Carolina Park Commercial to CPCR Carolina Park Commercial Residential, and from CPCR Carolina Park Commercial Residential to CPCR and Passage Park Carolina Park Commercial Residential and Passage Park respectively. First reading, ordinance number 15045, an ordinance providing for a fourth amendment to the Plan Development District Ordinance pertaining to property known as Carolina Park. First reading, ordinance number 15046, an ordinance providing for a fourth amendment to ordinance number 11064, the development agreement by and between the Town of Mount Pleasant and CDM of Charleston, LLC, Carolina Park Development Agreement.
Thank you very much. Item number 4 is a first reading on the plan development at Rifle Range Road in Port Chase Bluff.
Yes, this is a request to rezone from Plan Development Workforce Housing to, and to remove the property from the Sweetgrass Basket Overlay District to R4, medium density residential zoning. The property is located, as noted, at the intersection of Rifle Range and Port Chase Bluff. The property is currently workforce housing plan development. It is part of the Sweetgrass Basket Overlay District. The maximum number of units that can be developed on the property currently is 29. It's subject to all the requirements for the workforce housing PD. What the applicant has requested is to rezone to R4. This is a medium density land use classification, but what's important is they have not requested to amend the comprehensive plan. So the density that is afforded to the comprehensive plan for community conservation, this is the yellow, shown on the plan will apply. This is 3 units per acre. So the maximum number of units that can be accomplished if this rezoning is approved is 15, rather than the 29 that can be accomplished through the workforce housing plan development. The request was reviewed by the Planning Commission as well as the Planning Committee, and both have recommended approval of the rezoning request.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for first reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the ayes have it.
First reading, ordinance number 15047, an ordinance to rezone from PDWFH, Plan Development Workforce Housing District, and SBOD, Sweetgrass Basket Overlay District to R4, Medium Density Residential District, property located at the intersection of Rifle Range and Port Chase Bluff Roads, known as Harmony Way.
Thank you. And before we move on to old business, Ms. Farrell, we were invited to a discussion to talk about this issue of workforce housing. Is this true? Thomasina wanted to make sure everyone knew that they were invited to attend.
Yes, ma'am. The South Carolina Community Loan Fund, they're hosting their annual housing summit this Friday. It's from, I think it's 9 to 1. It's out at Trident Tech.
And I know Mark has agreed to go, and we're going to have to continue to talk about workforce housing. We will get it. We're working in that direction, but thank you. Moving on to old business, item number 1, it's an annexation on Weaver Circle.
Move for final reading.
Second.
1 and 2.
Is that 1 and 2 or just 1? I'm sorry.
1 and 2.
I have a final reading, a motion for a final reading on 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
And a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the ayes have it.
First reading, ordinance number 15011, an ordinance providing for the annexation of 3 parcels of land comprising approximately 2.92 acres located on Weaver Circle and Hungry Neck Boulevard. Final reading, ordinance number 15012, an ordinance to zone AB, area-wide business district, and HNB VROD, Hungry Neck Boulevard, Vending Road Overlay District, 3 parcels of land comprising approximately 2.92 acres located on Weaver Circle and Hungry Neck Boulevard.
Item number 3 is an ordinance to amend the Dune West PD.
Yes, ma'am. This is for a property located on Highway 41 to rezone from Dunes West R1 to Dunes West Commercial. Property is shown.
Move for final reading. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. And 1 no.
Final reading, ordinance number 15040, an ordinance to amend the Dunes West Plan Development District Ordinance pertaining to a portion thereof known as Dunes West Parcel 1.
Item number 4 is a final reading to rezone from R1 to R2, a lot at 1351 Fairmont Avenue.
span. We can illustrate it on the map. If
Move for final reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for final reading. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No. 2 noes.
Final reading, ordinance number 15041, an ordinance to rezone from R1 low-density residential district to R2 low-density residential district, property located at 1351 Fairmont Avenue.
Finally, much needed, item number 5 is the final reading to amend the Code of Ordinance pertaining to the subtitle timeframes for development
Move
agreements.
final reading.
And everyone wants final reading in a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the ayes have it.
Final reading, ordinance number 15042, an ordinance to amend subparagraph 1 of paragraph B of section 156.031 of chapter 156 and section 157.045 of chapter 157 of the Mount Pleasant Code of Ordinances pertaining to submittal timeframes for development agreements.
Committee reports. ATAC,
No meeting.
bids and purchases.
No meeting, no report.
ED,
No meeting, no report.
Education,
No meeting, no report.
Finance,
No meeting, no report.
Fire.
We do have a report. Sorry to break the chain, guys. The fire department requests approval to apply for a 2015 pre-disaster mitigation / FEMA grant for $108,750 with a $36,250 match from the town, which funds are available. The total amount for the grant is $145,000, with the grant providing 75% and the town of Mount Pleasant 5%. Grant will be used to purchase 2 50-kilowatt standby diesel generators for Fire Station 2 and 5. As such, I place this in the form of a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to apply for the grant. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the ayes have it. And I'd like to remind everyone, June 1st was the beginning of a hurricane season, so please make your evacuation plans now. And our public services guys and fire and police could certainly help. I believe we have information on the website about it as well. Human Resources,
No meeting, no report.
Patriots Point Development Authority, I did not attend the meeting, no report. Planning?
Madam Mayor, we've covered everything from our meeting. We'll have an announcement soon on the date regarding the growth management plan discussion.
Thank you. We're all looking forward to that, so please let us know as soon as possible. Police, legal, and judicial.
I can handle that for you.
Thank you, I
Mayor.
appreciate it.
The first 3 items, perhaps they can be taken together. They're all grant requests. The first one has no match, but it requires a public forum, which is why it's on the council agenda this evening. There is one discrepancy. The amount is not $16,729. As stated, it's $10,460. The other 2 grants require 50% matches, and it's used for, if successful, it provides us equipment, body cameras, bulletproof vests.
Move for approval, items 1, 2, and 3, with
I have
the
it.
note of change to 10,460.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Briefly, Madam Mayor, thank you. Just that I appreciate that the council unanimously is continuing its commitment to the purchase of body cameras, and this is part of that, so thank you.
I believe we will be the first municipality in the state of South Carolina to have every officer with a camera on his body.
Nice job, Chief. Nice job.
So we have a motion and several seconds for item 1, 2, and 3. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the ayes have it. Public Services?
Oh, that would be me, Madam Mayor.
Hi, how are you, Mr. Blassie?
And we had no meeting.
Okay.
And no report.
Recreation Committee.
Madam Mayor and Council, we did meet. Committee recognized Ann Sellner for 15 years of service with the town. We also discussed the possibility of changing the minimum age for senior center membership. We also discussed the Public Services Department's support for facilities and grounds for public recreation. The committee was given a presentation of Mount Pleasant Recreation Department proposed fee adjustments. We did not take any actions on these, but please read the minutes from the meeting on the website for details, because they're fairly lengthy. In ending, we did give 1,200 swim lessons last month. In our athletic leagues, we had 2,800 youth participate and 600 adults. Pretty good numbers for our rec department. They continue to do a great job.
Thank you, Mr. Carey, for that. And I would like to note, just for the record as we move forward, that it was identified through Jody Peel that the public services budget for recreation, 25% of your total budget, is that correct, Mr. Peel? Is dedicated to support recreation, correct? Thank you. Transportation did not meet. Waterworks?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At the May meeting, Commissioners approved to advertise and propose 2016 operating budget document and the 2016 proposed rates and fee charges. They also recognize the Financial Services Department for winning the 2014 Certified Annual Financial Report Award for the 18th consecutive year. Commissioners held a public hearing on June 1st to receive public comments on the operating budget, rates and charges and fees and policy amendments. There were no comments received on the budget. Mount Pleasant Waterworks will hold its annual commission meeting Monday, June 29th at 6 p.m. at the Mount Pleasant Waterworks Operations Center. During the annual commission meeting, the commissioners will consider the approval of the 2016 annual budget, rates and fees, and an amendment to an existing policy. All budget information can be found on the Mount Pleasant Waterworks website. That concludes my report.
Your Matt's Water Supply as well?
No water supply, no meeting, no report.
Mark, thank you very much for your dedication and continued work over at Mount Pleasant Waterworks. Awesome to have you over there. Mr. Demore, administrative report?
No items to report here.
Council new business. We got an exciting one here. The first item is a request for permission to apply for a grant offered by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
Motion approved.
We amended it to put it under that discussion is last, is where I put it.
Yes, very excited. You've likely received an email from me. We have an opportunity here for a large grant award to help supplement the budget for the waterfront park, which needs supplementing. And pertaining to the pier and some docks that may get built off it, we just like permission to apply. Getting it is going to require a match. The match is found within our project funds already, so it's
Move for approval.
a good opportunity.
I have a motion and a second to apply for the grant. Any further discussion? It's good news. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the ayes have it.
Thank you.
We added an item for new business discussion. I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Santos.
Thank you, Mayor. I think we had some pretty good discussion earlier. I'm certainly open for any questions, but, at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we take item number 3, goal number 3, to enhance the quality of life through the acquisition of open space and expansion of recreational lands, and put that in form of a referendum for upcoming election in November.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for any discussion.
Councilman Santos?
Yes, sir.
Is it my understanding that from the discussion earlier, we'll be discussing this further in Recreation Committee? Is that where?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely, because I think we need to fine tune it some. I'm talking with Ms. Stokes Marshall here about the senior center. She has some ideas about that as well, so this is gonna definitely need some fine tuning. But the key is to go ahead and get this first reading tonight so that we can start working toward getting it, approved and put on the agenda for the November election.
And just for final clarification, the only reason that we're voting on this tonight and modified the agenda is purely based on the timeline that we don't set based on
Yes, sir.
getting on the ballot for the upcoming November election. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
So we can focus on the wording or even rescind this should
Exactly.
we decide at some point in the future before
Right.
that hits the ballot.
Exactly.
Thank you. I'll be supporting this motion.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir. Mr. Barch.
Mr. Santos, would you care to amend your motion? I understand you're asking to have the referendum, but you would also direct us to the next Recreation Committee so we can begin discussions?
Absolutely. I'll include that in my motion, to be sent to the Recreation Committee as well. And in other words, I think it should be based there. That's where we should start our discussion, since it is about recreation, certainly.
I'm not sure who seconded it.
Mr. Nichols.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so we have an amended motion and amended second. Any further discussion?
I'm sorry.
Ms. Stokes Marshall?
Okay, I agree with all the comments and clarifications that have been made in reference to the timing to have this placed on the ballot as a referendum. I would like to indicate that I view this as part of the overall growth management program that we all supported a couple of months ago. So as we move forward, there's definitely the need for further discussion to clarify the language specifically as to the purpose of the use for this on the ballot.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion? Mr. Moore, you want to add something?
Just a comment, Mayor, so everyone is aware, what this would mean is it goes to Recreation Committee in July, has to be turned around and for first reading as an ordinance of council. And the second reading, it would be too late to wait for the next council meeting. We missed the 90 days, so it would require a special meeting of council subsequent to the July council meeting.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Well, then
Glatz?
my question, I'm opposed either way, but if it's going to the committee and we're gonna do the work anyway, and then it's gonna come up for then a first and second reading, why are we having a discussion now on something that would be at the committee anyway? It just seems like we're going through all this for nothing.
I think you'd have to ask Mr. Santos.
I'm missing the timeline.
If my understanding, the purpose for taking action now is to ensure that we meet the requirements for it to be placed on the ballot in November, okay? If we don't do that now, then we miss that opportunity to get it on the ballot in November.
Ken, this is a move to frame the house in a hurry, and then we can build the rest of the house.
I'm fine with it, I'm trying to get some clarity.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Smith?
Eric or David, once we go through the process and vote on it, and it's on the referendum, as I recall, the school ballot, school referendum had a project list. Are we required to have projects listed and identified in that referendum? What those funds would be, restricted funds would be used for? And if now is not the appropriate time to have that discussion, I'm comfortable waiting to dive into the weeds in this at the appropriate time, sir.
What I can definitively tell you is that it isn't the time. However, it's a good question, and I think a few things with the time, and what we'll discuss first in committee is, of course, authority, language, and specifically what you're doing. There's certain things that only council can do that you can't pass off, by state statute. So we're gonna wanna frame the language, understand, discuss it, and then we'll have that answer for you at committee and then following up with some specific language.
Mr. Smith's question is very important, because the first time that we did the Charleston County House and Sales Tax, which failed, we had some issues with how we listed our project. And it seemed to be a stumbling block throughout the process, which didn't, the baton was passed to the school district, as Marcus referenced. And it's key for us here in the next couple of weeks that gets straight.
Thank you. Mr. Carrier?
I am not against the referendum at all. I think it's a good idea. I think we need to go to the public. But I want to be totally prepared, as Mr. Garch says, that we have a real finite list of preferential projects when we go. I don't think 60 days we can do that. I just, when we got 250 acres sitting up here on Rifle Range Road, that's in itself is going to take a lot of finite planning. And I just don't think Charleston rep, our joint partners, who are they? The county. Our joint partners, the county, I don't think we can get with them long enough or early enough to get all this done. So that's my only concern, is we don't have the time to get a list prepared for a referendum.
Mr. Carrier, are you suggesting the government move slow?
No, not at all. Not this government, but we do need to be correct.
Thank you.
But again, by doing this, you're also allowing, we're notifying the public of what our intent is, all right? And you're allowing and enable them to have input as we develop this list that we're talking about. Whereas if you didn't do that, then it's just moving ahead and voting on it without creating a list and without the opportunity for the public to engage.
Thank you, and I think there might be some uncomfortable council members. I know myself, I'd be uncomfortable to move forward without a list, but thank you very much. Mr. DeMore has another comment.
I just want to say, if it serves council, the Recreation Department does have a facility needs assessment, and we can issue that to you within the next day or so.
Thank you
So
very
we'll have
much.
that ahead of time.
Well, we've had lots of discussion on the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And
Nay.
that's one nay, thank you. Item number B, old business. There is no council old business. It's hard to believe, but there is none. We do need to go to executive session for some legal and contractual issues, as well as personnel appointments to boards and commissions. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.